I went for the one-on-one interview. I think that's where I made the mistake.
So, do you think that there's a disadvantage for applying the second time?
Big shots, or you like how?
See, the Einstein is like they were normal people who have done some good work. How was it?
They were overachievers. It's very, very competitive, and from thousands of applications, they chose like literally 9 people from this whole of southern Pakistan. After I got rejected from UWC, it actually felt like I can't do anything.
So 1, 2, 3. Hey everyone, welcome back to Anandra.
And today we have Jia with us, Jia Kumari, and today we're going to be talking about Jia's going to be sharing her journey about how she could not make it to UWC, but she learned so much, and she's so open with us to share her journey, what she learned with all of us here. So thank you so much, Jia, for coming. Thank you. So
Thank you. It was a pleasure joining you guys.
Can you please introduce yourself to the audience?
Okay, so I am Jia Kumari and I am 18 years old. I live in Karachi, Pakistan, and I also run a YouTube channel through which they approached me and they found my video. So it's an overwhelming pleasure to meet you all on this video and then also share my experience of UWC, because no one really asked me about that after I got rejected. But then there's so much to share about that. I'm sure all the people out there who are applying to UWC, they definitely have a really big urge to go abroad and do high school and make a change. But then when they get rejected, they should know that it's not the end of the world. So I'll definitely share a few tips and tricks how to get in. And also, if you get rejected, then it's not the end of the world. It's okay. You're just like me. So we're definitely going to change the world, but just without the UWC experience.
Yeah, the main motive of the interview was just like people think if they don't pass the UWC application, then it's the end of the world. But they don't know what all they can learn from applying, what all they learn from rejection. So
Right. So great. That's an amazing point for us. So let's start with like you just told that your application got selected. So can you share about what all comes in the application and what all how strong was the application that it got selected?
Yeah. As she told that in the southern Pakistan, only 9 people were selected for the interview. So that means your application had
really great. So can you share what was all in your application?
Yeah, definitely. I kind of feel like my application was near to perfect, and since I was writing and not speaking, so there was no point of getting nervous. So I put in all my efforts. I made it near to perfect. I put in every effort to express myself in the best way possible. So in the application, there are a lot of parts. It's I think very near to a university or college application abroad. So now that I have applied there, so I'm really, really prepared to apply to colleges abroad as well, which is a great thing. So it started out with personal information and then contact information and then your parents' information. They need your transcripts, they need your grades, they need extracurriculars. They don't really need it, but if you have some of the really great extracurriculars, which you should definitely, so do put them in because they represent you more than your transcripts, which is a great tip that everyone should know before they apply abroad or anywhere. And the next thing, which I feel like in any application, be it a college application or be it a UWC application, the S's, they are the most important thing. We must focus on that since the beginning. If you're not putting in your personal information, contact information for right away, but you should start doing your essays from since the day one the application came out. And then there was the whole big section of financial aid where they would know how needy you are and how much scholarship, financial aid you should get to go to a UWC college. So that's how the application looked, but it was huge. And since it was huge, they kind of gave you around 3 months. Gave me 3 months to complete the application and submit it. I don't know about the other national committees, so it may be different.
Right, nice. And of course, what were your extracurriculars again?
I had put in, firstly, since I love volunteering and I love doing internships, helping out other people. So I made sure that represents the major part of my extracurriculars. So I put in volunteering and internship. And then I put Modern United Nations and the MUNs that I did. And they're very, very close to my heart because I love debating. And then I put in a sports activity. And then there was a science competition that I basically won, I guess. So I put in that, and then there was other thing that I can't really remember right now, but I think these were the major things that represented me. And plus, you can just put 5 extracurriculars. So you need to be wise in picking out and choosing out what activities you want to put in, and make sure they represent the best of you.
Right. Great.
So how much time did it take to fill out the application, like complete the essays and all?
Like I said, I put in most time in my essays. So with the personal and contact information, if I was like sitting around and not doing anything, I would just fill out one section of personal information and then one section of contact information. That didn't take me a lot of time, and it was very easy to go with that. But then I started out the essays since day one. So since I had 3 months, I utilized all of the 3 months because they don't want you to submit the application before the deadline. They don't think that matters. What matters is your application should really represent who you are. So you should really utilize the whole time, and so did I.
Right.
Wow.
Right. All right. And also about like when you said that you made it to the interviews, how do they grill you in the interview? I'm sure it's very kind of a very intimidating experience where you are like face to face with the faculty and you might get nervous. So what all comes in the interview, and how did it go for you?
Yes, it was a very, very intimidating
I'm sure.
part of the process actually. So when I went to the interview, they started out with giving, I think, an essay question, which was around 150 to 200 words. You just need to write an incident about your life that affected the most in your life. And the question is definitely different. I think got something that affected my life, something related to my friendship. I don't exactly remember. So there's this question that they start out with, and then they do a group discussion, and mine was on climate change, which is definitely a major issue. So I feel like it's something near to that in every interview, or it could be different for every national committee as well. So it could be different, but it will definitely be about a global issue. So it was around a group discussion of all the 9 people, and you need to put in your efforts and your part in it. So they made sure everyone participated, so you just can't stay quiet. And then there was I think they collected the transcripts and the certificates of my extracurriculars. They saw that that's how, just to verify actually. So they just checked those. And even though they didn't ask us to bring the certificates, but I just did in case. So that was like most of the people did not. So I don't know if that affected their application, their selection or not, but I did get mine, so I showed them that. And then there was the main interview, the one-on-one interview between the team actually and you, all alone in a room where they'd ask you questions and get to know you more. And the most difficult experience or difficult part of that interview was that I was way too nervous. Even though they told me that you need to be relaxed and you need to be okay, we just want to get to know you. They're very, very, very sweet. But then again, it's a UWC interview, so you will get intimidated.
Sure.
So it was a very overwhelming experience for me. So I think it was a time where I got the most nervous in my life.
Right. So yeah, like we were talking about, like you just shared about how your interview experience went. So like you said, they talk about global issues in the interview. Was there some point you got stuck and they judged you instantly?
I think where I went for the one-on-one interview, I think that's where I made the mistake of saying something that that came out nervously. That wasn't meant to come out. That wasn't something that represented me, because I said in my interview, in my application, that I want to attend Harvard Medical School. That was very definite. And then in the interview, they just started out with asking that, tell me about yourself, tell us about yourself. And I went out like, so I am Jia, and I'm a person who can be really mysterious, and she might not want to do the same thing she wants to do right now. And that's very natural. That might happen. And I was getting a feeling that I might not end up being in a medical school, but then I just wanted to give them a hint that I can be very indecisive and I overthink a lot. That's the hint that I wanted to give them. But then they asked me as if like, but Jia, you mentioned in your applications very specifically that you wanted to go to Harvard Medical School, and that's very, very specific for a 16-year-old. So why do you think you would not end up in a medical school? That's when I was like, oh my God, oh shit, I forgot. I shouldn't have said that. I mean, I didn't mean to say it exactly like that way.
It just came out.
Exactly, it just came out. So I don't think they judged me, but I think that's one of the reasons why they thought that I may not be a good fit for UWC. So yeah, I just give her, advice that don't get nervousness, get to you. Don't let nervousness get to you. Just stay calm, cool, and just let them know the real you. You should not say something that you're not sure of. So they might not judge you, but then definitely they take that factor as a part of whether they should select you or whether they should not select you.
Okay, so do you think that there's a disadvantage for applying the second time? So if I apply and I get rejected for the first time and then I apply again the next year, so do you think that there's a disadvantage?
I think there is no disadvantage, because I know so many people from UWC who had applied once but they did not get in, and then they applied another time and then they got in. So it really depends from they want to know how you evolved and why you wanted to apply again. But then the whole thing is that every national committee has this very strict age policy that you need to fit in before applying again. So since I got over age, so I couldn't apply again last year. So it was definitely a big breakthrough for me, because I felt that I could not do anything in the world now. So there is an age policy, but if you are eligible totally according to their criteria, then you definitely can apply, and they would not take it as an disadvantage.
Right.
So after getting rejected from UWC, what were your plan B? What was your plan B? So
did you always come up with a plan B, or you had if I don't get into UWC, I might just apply to the B institution if UWC is A. So was there a plan B for you?
It was. I applied to different A-level colleges, so I definitely had 3 options. One was get into the Nixer A-level college. Other one was to get into Lyceum College. I had applied there and I got accepted everywhere. So I had options, but then I didn't want to do A-level, so I joined my own school's IB diploma program, which I'm definitely not regretting, because it's an amazing school.
Sure, right. And also, how competitive is UWC? Like, how I'm sure there are a lot of people from abroad, from different, national committees applying. So, how competitive did you find it? Like, what kind of students came? Were they like big shots, or you how?
See, the Einstein is like they were normal people who have done some good work. But how was it?
They were overachievers. I felt intimidated after I got to know who really got in to the 2 UWC schools. So they were they had been to I think won some Yale science competition. They won some money, and they were great debaters. They won awards which were national and international level. So I was nowhere compared to them. And then they had distinctions, while I had just a few A stars in my grades. So I think that really doesn't matter. But then what they did as a debater, or as who wanted to go out there and make a change in the science field, So that's what the people are really like. And then one of the students who is with me during the interview, he is with me right now as well, studying with me. So I know how great of a person he is and how great other people were as well. So I know it's very, very competitive. And from thousands of applications, they chose like literally 9 people from this whole of southern Pakistan. So they're very selective. And then also the fact that only a few people know about, like in Pakistan, I feel like not everybody knows about UWC. And then who knows are very sure about going and are very sure about what they want to do in future. So it's definitely competitive.
Definitely.
So, अगर आपको rate करना हो academics and extracurriculars out of 10, so आप कितना देना चाहोगे? Are they both equal, like 5 or 5, or you say that academics ज़्यादा चाहिए या extracurriculars ज़्यादा चाहिए आपको?
Okay, for this, I'd like to say that every university student out there who has a YouTube channel or who wants to give any advice to apply to their college or some other college or where they have applied and they wanted to give a tips and advice. So they would just say that for all the Ivy League schools or for any college abroad or be it even high school, they do not account transcripts as like everything. They are something, but they're not everything, So they wouldn't definitely take anyone with D's and E's grades. They would rather take B's and C's with a great extracurricular. So they don't want to see just A's and A stars or something like 80 and 90% above. They want to see what you do other than what you do in school. So after school or let's say outside school, whatever you do makes you who you are, the human being you are. So the transcripts, they don't really matter. So I think transcripts would be a 2 and extracurriculars would rather be an 8. So they definitely matter. Because they also ask about the extracurriculars in their essay questions. They want to see which of the extracurriculars matter the most to you. So they are actually interlinked. So I feel like they are innate and transcripts are just a 2. They don't really matter as much as essays and extracurriculars do.
Right.
So some of the last tips which you would give to the people applying
aspiring, UWC, like
as you are already experienced.
So what were your tips? What were your learnings? If you could just summarize in pointers and how.
So I'd give 3 tips. Firstly, please do not get late to the interview and do not submit your application late. Do not procrastinate it. Do it on time. They really see the punctuality. And if you have an interview in the morning, leave your house half an hour before, even if it's a 10-minute drive. Please reach there on time, before time actually. And then a second tip I'd like to give is that stay calm, stay cool. It's gonna be okay. They're just like you. They're just like normal people. They want to know you. Do not get nervous. Do not say things that you've written in the application, but you're contradicting that. So also make sure that you have reviewed your application before interviewing, so that you really remember what you've written and you say according to that. They shouldn't think that this application wasn't written by you or was not written by someone you are not, and you don't want to do that, but you still wrote it for the sake of it, for it to emerge out amongst the thousands of applications. And the third tip I'd like to give is that I think third tip is show the person you are. Even if you've not done any great extracurriculars, you have not won any national or international awards, that's okay, but that's who you are. Just say that, just explicitly say that. But then again, essays should not be like, okay, I'm passionate about this, I'm passionate about that, I want to do that, but I couldn't do this. Just don't write sentences, don't tell, show. In fact, you should be able to write about yourself creatively and show them that, okay, this is the person I am. And if you're showing who you are, then they should, if you show that who you are actually in the application and interview process exactly and honestly, they would be able to make a great decision about yourself, something that they want for yourself. Because you see, UWC schools are not any other normal schools. They have students with brilliance, and to be able to cope up with them, to study with them, you need that resilience, you need that dedication and determination, which if you don't have, you might not be able to cope up. So they want to make a decision for you, not just for the UWC school. They want to know if you'd fit in there, and if you wouldn't, they would make a decision that's better for you actually.
Sure, definitely. Sure. So, can you just say like a last message, like a bye-bye to our watchers, like just like, yeah, whatever, like just a closure.
Yeah.
So, I'll just say this thing that after I got rejected from UWC, it actually felt like I can't do anything. So, like I said in my own video, that I'd apply next year, but I couldn't due to being overage. And I found that I think before starting with my own IB diploma over here, so it kind of felt like I can't do anything. But then these tips and tricks and saying that before I applied to UWC or before I got rejected from there, I always had this mindset that transcripts matter the most, because that's what I have been taught throughout my life, and generally students are. So they need to know that transcripts do not represent who you are, do not represent your intelligence, they do not represent how smart you are, how kind you are. The extracurriculars, the essays, the words that you speak, the words that you show in your application tell that. And I wouldn't be able to know this if it wasn't for UWC rejection. So now that I know this, I'd be able to apply to colleges in a better way, and I might have a chance on applying on getting into one of the Ivy League schools that I really, really want to go to. So if I would have gotten into UWC school, then I wouldn't have learned this really major life lesson that every student my age, your age, needs to know and needs to learn and accept that. Because not everyone can, especially the overachievers or high achievers who have always had A's and A stars, do not understand this, because they think transcripts and grades are what colleges and different schools see, but they don't, definitely they don't. They see more of who you are, the kind of person, because at the end of the day, all that will matter in the future is what you do and not what you have studied, the curriculum that you're doing. So it's definitely an overwhelming thing to apply to UWC, but then you got to know what exactly you're doing and why exactly you are applying to UWC. So just know yourself, because these applications let you explore yourself in more depth than you have ever done. So let that go with the flow, and please do not take the rejection on yourself really harsh, because it's a rigorous process in every national committee, not just Pakistan, not just India, but all over the world. And there are so many competitive students out there. So you are just as amazing as the other people. It's just that you're not suited for that UWC college, and it's better for you, it's good for you. So accept that and move on and prepare for the next rigorous phase of your life. So with that, I really, really felt great talking to you guys, knowing you guys, and giving an interview and helping out all the people who are watching right now. So goodbye and good luck to all of you. And if any one of you watching there, or if even Ansh or her sister wants any help from me for applying to UWC, I'm always there for you guys. And
thank you so much. That is genuinely amazing. Thank you. Bye-bye.
Bye.
Bye-bye. Thank you.